Hi everybody, it's Richard here again and welcome to another video. Now this time I'm going to look at the singles of Hazel O'Connor from 1979 to 1987. Now I always wanted to do this ever since I did the singles of Toya, because I always tend to group those two singers together. One, because they were both actresses before they actually found success in the pop music field. Two, they more or less had success around the same time. And three, they've actually got together for a tour in 2022 next year as Electric Ladies of the 80s. So unlike Toya, I'm actually going to show Hazel O'Connor albums from the 80s as well. So we'll flip through those very quickly first and then we'll do the singles ranking. Okay, she first found success in 1980 with the soundtrack to Breaking Glass, and this is brilliant. And there's quite a few singles taken off this album, which you will see in the ranking video. Also in 1980 she releases Sons and Lovers, which is a very strong follow-up. Didn't do as well, it didn't chart. Breaking Glass I think went gold, this one didn't chart. And then in 1981 she releases this album, Cover Plus, and this is also excellent. Very scary monstery is the cover. If you can see, it's I think it just looks exactly like Bowie's Scary Monsters, and even the font is quite similar. It's not the same, but it's very similar. This is extremely good album as well. And then there was a couple of years gap, and in 1984 she released Smile, and this is actually quite a dated album. This is the most dated of those three. This has the full blown 80s sound. No more albums in the 80s, but she has released albums in the 90s and 2000s which I haven't heard. Okay, so 18 singles in all from 79 to 87. I don't have them all. There's one I don't have, but I'll show a CD for that. Okay, at number 18, and this is called Push and Shove, and it's Hazel O'Connor and Chris Thompson from Manfred Mann's Earth Band, and this was a single for Greenpeace, and it's actually not very good at all. In fact, it's pretty crap, and his voice annoys me as well, so it gets rock bottom, I'm afraid. That was from 1985, and in 1987, and this is the one I don't have a single for, and it's called And I Dream, and it's from the Hargoodles Girlfriends soundtrack, which was a film about the Women's Auxiliary Air Force in the early 1940s. I'll show a picture of the picture sleeve now. Yeah, this is a bit of a ballad, and it's not very good either. It's just not a great song, so it gets number 17. And number 16 from 1986, and this is from the Fighting Back TV show. I think it's about domestic abuse. Again, it's not great. She seemed to be doing a lot of these TV themes around the mid-80s. It starts off okay. It's not disastrous. It's not a bad song, but it's nowhere near the quality of her best work. And at number 14, or number 15 from 1986, and this is from the TV show Prospects, and it's called Today Could Be So Good. Now this at least has got a bit of a bounce to it. It's not a fantastic song, but it's a better listen than the other three, and all those four singles were standalone, so they weren't on a Hazel O'Connor album. But this is not bad. It's not brilliant, but not bad. Okay, we get into the better singles now, and at number 14 we have Don't Touch Me from the Smile album. Now, although this has a very 80s sound to it and it's extremely dated, I do actually like this, and I love the way she screams the word don't before she sings Touch Me. I think it's actually very clever, and it's a decent song, but it is cluttered with the 80s synths and that overall mid-80s sound, but I still do enjoy it. At number 13 13 we have Just Good Friends, also from the Smile album. Yeah, this is a decent song as well. It's like a mid-tempo song. It does have the 80s production, but not to the same extent as the previous one, and I think that's why I slightly do prefer it. But yeah, it's not a bad song, and it gets number 13. And at number 12, and again from the same album, you see where I'm coming from here. All her best stuff were from her first 3 albums, and this is Cuts Too Deep. Now this is a big ballad, and this is actually very good, and it's from Smile. I think it was the 3rd single, it might have been the 2nd, but yeah, none of these did very well at all. Although Don't Touch Me got to number 81, that was the highest of the Smile singles. But this, I think, should have hit the top 75 at least. It should have been top 40 hit. So Cuts Too Deep gets number 12. Okay, at number 11 we have E.I. Adio, or as she sings, E.I. Edio. It's her debut single from 1979. It's a great little new wave number. It didn't feature on any album, but it was re-recorded for the Cover Plus album, in which the chorus was taken over by children, and they actually sing Adio instead of Adio. But yeah, it's a good little number, and it gets my number 11. Now we get into the top 10, and I love all these 10 songs, and I'm giving number 10 to Hanging Around from the Cover Plus album, and this is a cover of the Stranglers song, and I think that's why I'm giving it number 10, because it is a cover version. It got to number 45 in 1981. It's a faithful enough version. She does slow the verses down, but with the chorus she lets rip with her robotic type voice, or android voice, and I think it's really, really good. It's an excellent song, and it's a really good cover version. At number 9, and from 1982, we have Calls the Tune, and this got to number 60 in the charts. Now this was culled from her Breaking Glass album in 1980. They really did rip the life out of that album for singles, and this is another great song with a very, very good chorus. It's sort of like starts off slow, and then the chorus is very atmospheric. It's a good song from a fantastic album. And at number 8, also from Breaking Glass, and this got to number 42 in the charts, and it's Give Me an Inch, and this is a great little bouncy number. Yeah, I love it. It's as I say, got to number 42, full of energy, great song. And at number 7 we have from 1982, and it's That's Life, and this comes from the Cover Plus album. It's a ballady type number with a really big rousing chorus, really, really good, and I think she sings it brilliantly. It's a good song, so it gets number 7. At number 6, and the first single from the Sons and Lovers album, and it's Time, and this is a really good new wave number. It's excellent. You can sing along to this. It's just, it closes the album, and it's just a fantastic song. And at number 5, from 1980, is Writing on the Wall, and this was the first single from Breaking Glass. This is a great new wave number, full of keyboards. It's just excellent. It powers along brilliantly. It's one of the catchiest songs she's actually ever written. Love it. So it gets number 5. A number 4 and a number 10 hit from 1981, and it's D-Days. Now this is a remix of the track from Sons and Lovers. I think it was Tony Visconti that remixed this, and yeah, you see her on Top of the Pops doing this. She comes onto the stage wearing a Macintosh coat and a hat with sunglasses, and she takes off the coat, and all she's wearing is a bra on her upper half. And I remember she got slagged off about it from the music press way back in the day, but I watched that performance on Top of the Pops the other night, and I thought she was fantastic. So really catchy song, and it gets my number 4, D-Days. And number 3, and it's the big hit from 1981, and it's Will You, and this got to number 8. Now I always say Will You and Baker Street are a pair, and the reason I'm saying that is that they're both remembered mostly for the sax in the song. This has got a fantastic sax solo. There is sax throughout the whole of the song, but the last 2 minutes is actually a saxophone solo, and it is brilliant. Now this is her best song, and I feel guilty at not putting it at number 1 because I accept it's her best ever song, but there's just 2 other singles I actually prefer. So Will You gets my number 3. And my number 2 is Cover Plus, We're All Grown Up, from the Cover Plus album, and this got to number 41 in the charts. This should have been a massive hit. Fantastic song. It is full of keyboards, but the melody of the song is brilliant. She sings it brilliantly. It's atmospheric. It's not slow. It's quite a fast song, but it's really, really good, and it gets my number 2. And my number 1 from 1980 and a number 5 hit, and it is 8th Day, and this is from the Breaking Glass soundtrack. This is the song that launched her success. Yeah, absolutely fantastic song. It's probably one of my top 10 singles from 1980. It's that good. Really, really fantastic. Yeah, and I'll maybe put a link for this one below, or the DJs, or both. Anyway, so that's my number 1, 8th Day. Okay, that's my ranking of the Hazel O'Connor singles from 1979 to 1987. Yeah, a good artist, especially those early years. I don't know anything from her post 1987, so I don't know what her 1990s or 2000s albums are like at all. But yeah, it's a pity that the Toya Hazel O'Connor show is not coming to Northern Ireland. I would have gone to see him, definitely. Anyway, that's me for now. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope to have another video quite soon. All the best now. Bye bye.